I'm sitting here with Jamie, one of my wonderful clients and people who didn't have done my program. Thank you for being here, Jamie. And you already have some tears in your eyes, so let's just dive right in. We were just actually talking about weight loss. Do you want to just share a little bit about that? I mean, there's nothing better than somebody being raw and vulnerable, and you're there. Do you want to just share how far you've come and where you were when you first started with me? And I mean, we could start with the weight loss thing. What we just said is weight loss is a huge holding extra weight is a huge protection from our past traumas where we felt unsafe. Would you want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I would say I really began, I'm 44, first off, and I really began to feel like after I hit 40, it became more aware to me that I needed to do some work. It's just years and years of depression, just not feeling like doing anything, wasn't living the best life with the kids. And so I started to seek out and do some of my own work, which is when I started to lose some weight. And I found a really, another great lady that was very helpful with that. But then I also needed to go to do more. So I had tried a couple of counseling sessions, but I always left with just having talked, but not actually had anything happen to actually help me work after that or so forth. So I always feel like when you're looking for something, you always find it somehow. And so I still knew that I needed something more. And I came across the Facebook ad one day and everything in it just resonated with me. So I clicked on, was a little nervous,
My
gotta say.
Facebook ad, are you saying?
Yep, I
Oh,
was a little nervous, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to see what this is. And then you messaged me and asked me if I wanted more information. I thought, well, obviously, if she's doing that, then with all the people that must be clicking on, there must be something to this. So went through the initial call with Anna, Annalise, I think it was. Um, and just because you were able to tell me exactly what I was going to get with the program and where it was, and you actually just told me what it was, how much it was, I felt it was very reasonable. And I started in February. And you're also very reasonable when I said I had to take a month because some things were going on. But then I started. Um, and I guess just working through the whole thing, I'm just noticing such a big change. Like I'm more just feeling like getting out there and walking things I haven't done up until now. So now I'm more physically active. I'm getting out in nature more. And when things come up, now that I've completed the program and we've done some sessions and even the group with the ladies and the gentlemen that are in there, it's just so wonderful.
support
Some
means a
very
lot.
healing support does mean a lot. Yeah. And when things come up now, I'm able to get through it quicker. They don't come up as often. It's just been really life changing. And looking at what I've done my whole life as to oppose the last few months and how far I've come is, I just can't even, I think back on it and think of how much different it is. And I know it's what you do with helping us heal because I've tried so many things in the past that just didn't get me there. So actually doing the somatic therapy is life changing.
Oh, that's wonderful. And just to be more specific, thank you for all that. Are you, because you did say depression. So as things come up with overthinking, anxiety, overwhelm, are you noticing that has gone way down? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm just able to enjoy life more. Like
That's
always
huge.
anxious about things and always worried about what's going to happen. And, you know,
You
so
were.
many, yeah,
And
yeah.
how are you now with that stuff?
I'm just able to enjoy it more, I guess would be the biggest thing. I'm able to enjoy it more, if stuff, and I mean, you do have hard days, things come up sometimes. And, with the line of work that I'm in, things do come up. Um, but I'm able to take a breath, regulate my emotions.
Yes.
Regulation is huge. And if I don't have time at the moment, I tell myself later on, I'm going to lay down. And if I go to bed or whatever, take a breath, feel some stuff that I need to feel, or I just do something with you and the group. And then it always makes me feel better.
That's beautiful. I love what you said. So many of us, and if people are new to any of this work, most people that find me have been through therapy and counseling. But whether or not you have or you haven't, just what I'm hearing you say, and this is exactly what happened to me, shutting out the outside world, actually going within and talking to yourself and listening as you would a good friend or your child, because you have three beautiful kids, and just saying, hey, what do I need? What am I sensing? So a lot of us distract ourselves and keep going. I did this for many years. And when we slow down and say, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. And if it ever feels too big, that's why support is so important. You tell yourself, oh, I can work on this more later with the right person. And then that contains it, because all this old energy starts to bubble up in the body, which is why we start to overthink. So I love the way you're describing that. And I hope that's clear for people to know it is safe and okay to go within. And that's exactly what I do now. I anytime I get triggered, I know, oh, this is here for my growth. And in your line of work, being a nurse, anything that comes up is for your growth. The more regulated we are, the more we can hold pain for other people and help them get through it. And I just wanted to share, like, you went snow with your kids. What do you call it?
Sliding.
Sliding. Like you were saying, things like that you've never done. And I'm wondering, have you even lost more weight in the last 4 months being with me?
Oh, yes. Yep. It's been an ongoing process, but my mental health has been so much better, and just getting out and exercising has been my biggest thing. So I just never felt like it before. I wasn't, when you're not healthy, you're feeling no energy.
Well, I like that you're tying, because I don't talk about this enough, and I think it's important, tying weight, physical health. We know mental health, yes, but that if somebody's overweight, weight is a protection to all that you've been through in your life. Jamie had a very hard upbringing with a very unsafe environment. So her body goes, well, to protect me, some people hold more weight. And as Jamie steps into, I am safe now, I love myself, I can release and do all the work we've done, the weight starts falling off. And I think that's important for people to know, because there's so many diets out there and exercise, but unless you really regulate your nervous system, things don't come into balance the way they should. And as they come into balance, you want to eat better, you want to move your body more. It's all connected. And even just seeing your tears right now, can we just look at that for a moment and give people an example how this works? So what are those tears? What do you sense as I talk about that? Because it's still very raw in you, this weight connected to your past trauma with what you've been through in your childhood. What's coming up for you right now?
Yeah. And I mean, it's just more about being able to love yourself enough. Like, that's a lesson that we don't learn, with all this generational stuff. You just don't learn to love yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that my kids get to see me do this while they're still young enough. But
you're teaching them how to love themselves.
Yeah.
By doing it, not telling them, by doing it. Mom is loving herself. So sorry, go ahead.
But it just is. I guess you just learn to love and take care of yourself. And it's one of the hardest things to do when you don't feel, because of what you've been through and what you were told when you were younger, that you deserve to do that. It's like looked at as selfish or whatnot. So I'm learning as I'm uncovering all these layers that it's actually doing that is making me a better mom, better wife, friend, everything. But I guess one other thing I want to say too is, when you say that anxiety is your friend, the stuff that I used to push away and cover up with just emotional eating, whatnot, it is your friend, and it does tell you that there's something there that needs to be healed and you need to work on. And I used to look at it as, nope, I can't I can't think about it. I'm going to distract myself with food, or I'm going to distract myself with whatever. But now that I'm working on it, and then to always know that I have the support of this whole, we're like family now. So I always know if I need it, I go there and it's okay. It's ongoing. It's just so, it's such a good feeling.
You mean that you can reach out to me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yes.
You and
The group.
other people in the group that we've become really good friends because we're going through this together.
I love hearing that. That makes me so happy that we're like family. And just so basically, you're not going to food as your comfort anymore. You're going to looking at the feeling and thinking of
Yeah.
asking for support. You've reprogrammed yourself. That's huge.
Yes. Yes.
Food addiction is like alcohol or a drug. It's really hard to break those patterns. My only time of dealing with that, I remember I was 16 and there was some big stuff going on in my family, and food became my comfort, and I gained a lot of weight, which was really hard because especially at that age and the end of high school and going into college and growing up, and it's this struggle. I remember being like, what the hell is this? And I didn't relate it to trauma, and now I know how much it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I started to reprogram myself with my relationship with food and my body and my healing, the weight just started to come off. And now I have a great relationship with food. It's nurturing, and I eat little bits, handful amounts. I listen to my stomach, and it's just really a powerful process.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing all that. That's big. I'm so happy to be talking about this. So you touched on also the importance of going within and looking at it. Don't run from it, getting support. And just while we're sitting here for a moment, maybe let's just both close our eyes and check in with your heart and your stomach and your throat, and just see where you're at today. And if there's anything else you want to share, or anything that's coming up for you that we could even use as an example. I think when you were talking, I wanted to ask what is, and so you can either answer this, or if there's something else you want to bring up, an example of a negative belief you were raised with about not loving yourself that you've transformed now. But first, I want to know if there is one, and say it, and then we'll see how the transformation happens.
I pretty much was always told I wasn't good enough. And I was expected to do so many things, acting as an adult, basically, but nothing was ever good enough. So I struggled with that.
So when you were a kid, your mom or dad or both told you you're not good enough?
Dad.
Your dad told you you're not good enough, yet you were expected to do a lot of adult things.
Yep.
So right there, as you just say that, feel what happens in your body. Those are two mixed messages that just make you almost want to sink. You're not good enough, but here, do all this. It's like a no-win. It's total abuse.
Yep.
And what do you sense in your body? I know you've come out of this and you know you are good enough. So when you do this work, as I'm even tuning into you, you feel pretty regulated, like it can't touch you anymore. Like it's somebody else's story, like a movie you watched.
Right. Yeah, like I know and I look back and things that you were told, like I guess of all the things I've accomplished, sitting here thinking about that, and literally, I mean, he's in the same place as he was. My brothers just had to buy him a stove because he didn't even have a stove. Like he has nothing because he always relied on everybody else.
Your dad, to this day.
To this day. Yep. So all the things he told me that I wasn't, he is right now.
Beautiful. Whoa, feel that. What does that feel like?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so funny how you believe that in the moment when you're living it, but then when you get out of it and you heal and you realize,
It's not you.
no,
It's not you, it's him. But you could only get to that place by making space in your body, not just your mind. That's what I love about this too.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just such a
beautiful.
wide, I'm just very grateful because I just feel like I still have a ways to go, but there's so many resources. And I'm like, I just want to get through this. But, you have so much time with children, but I've got things lined up that are still going to help me grow. And I'm just very,
Oh, thank you. And you know what? You bring up a good point. This work I've been doing this work on myself for probably almost 15 years now. It is ongoing. My ego used to go, okay, when am I there? When do I get there? And I remember studying with Peter Levine and asking him in person, so when am I done with my anxiety and trauma? He's like, I'm still working on mine.
Yeah.
We
Right.
basically keep evolving at how I look at it, unless we become a master and we can leave our bodies and levitate or whatever it is.
Right.
We're just getting better, like you said, being present, enjoying life, loving yourself, your family, and being here right now, right here, like this right here, right now, talking to you is the only moment we have, and it's happiness. And that's it. That feels so
Right.
good. Like that even just settles me. And I hope people watching this feel the same way, because the mind goes into the past and in the future. And here's the thing, until I regulated my nervous system, I couldn't get present. I was either in the past or the
That's
future.
right. Yep.
So I don't want people to beat themselves up, because we'll hear a lot of messages, be present. Yeah, well, if you don't know how, that's when you need support. You need some more tools. And so, oh, thank you. I wanted just to do something quick, and this was great to share and talk about a little bit about your journey. And I
Right.
appreciate it. And
And that's why I like helping you, because I just feel like it's gonna change so many people's lives, and I like the imperative stuff like that. I
Oh,
How could you not really?
right.
You know,
Yeah,
when you look at children and when they get raised by, like, we just change the future of our children as well,
yes.
because we heal and we give them the tools that they need as they go through things.
Well, exactly. And you're making me think, I want to take people in the program and the graduates, like, to go volunteer to more children, to
Mhm.
orphanages, to children that were victims of sex trafficking or human trafficking. And, we'll keep paying it forward. So I hope this inspires others to do the work for the future of either their children or the children out there. Because when we heal ourselves, we can heal somebody else. We can't go heal someone else unless we
Right.
do the work first. So thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you greatly too. And we'll sign off for now, and we'll do more next time.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to either one of us.